Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today for a brief review of Docukit. We believe businesses of all sizes can benefit in many ways by implementing a document management solution. Docukit is a robust data management and archiving application that includes all the tools necessary to successfully implement a digital transformation, and that will empower your employees to be more productive by increasing efficiency with document handling. In today's review of Docukit, we'll cover some of the basic operations that a normal user might encounter. Let's go ahead and log into Docukit. Of course, I'm going to need a username and password. And this is the icon to access the document management portion of Docukit. This is my homepage for Docukit, and this is where you can see the current folders I have access to in my profile. You'll notice as I tab on each folder that the volume of documents within each processing tray will change. There are 4 processing trays assigned to each folder, holding documents for each process. Documents held in the reserved application or managing documents that are being utilized for modification. Documents found in the upload index section are documents either uploaded directly to Docukit from your PC and/or documents that were recently scanned. Documents that are found in the forms capture applications are documents that were released from the upload index section. The forms capture application is the zonal OCR application for capturing information automatically. Once documents have been released from the forms capture application, they'll drop into your files and folders. Files and folders is your repository for all of your archived documents. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at each one of these processing trays. For additional reference, you'll notice me tabbing on these shortcuts here at the top. These are shortcuts back to each one of these processing trays. Let's take a look at Upload Index. When we look at documents in the Upload Index section, this is where we can see documents that were recently scanned to Docukit. You can also see any documents that were recently uploaded as well. From here, you can go ahead and select your documents for processing. You have 2 options. You can go ahead and process them through the zonal OCR application with this icon, or you can process them manually here. If you are utilizing the zonal OCR application for capturing information automatically, they're going to appear here in the Forms Capture module. This is where you can see the zonal OCR engine at work here. In this particular template, I'm capturing 4 different zones: the invoice number, date, customer information, and the dollar amount. Basically what's happening is Docukit is capturing this information and pulling it over to the proper index field. Once you verify that this information is correct, you can go ahead and click on Index, and that'll bring your document over to Files and Folders. We do have an additional option here to go ahead and index all of your documents. Once you've clicked on Index All, that'll attempt to move all 17 documents over to Files and Folders. If it does find an error within the index fields, it'll go ahead and ask you to make a correction. When we built these index fields, we indicated the type of information that we wanted to gather. So in this particular field, we indicated strictly numeric information. So if it did capture an alphabet character and we go to index the document, it again is going to indicate there's an error and ask me to make a correction. So we built those same properties into the invoice date and dollar amount. And in this particular field, we indicated that the information was required before it could be saved. So once all documents have been indexed, they'll drop here into the files and folders. And this is where you can see all of the information that you've gathered for your documents. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at documents in the files and folders. This is where you can see all of your archived documents. You can see all the metadata that has been captured. And in this particular folder, I'm currently utilizing 4 index fields. For each index field that I have a corresponding search engine. If I'd like to find my American invoices, I can go ahead and just type in American, come down here, click on search, and I have all of my American invoices. I have a couple of options that are made available to me. I can go ahead and export and zip the actual images from these files, or I can export the index information or metadata over to Excel for other reporting purposes. These are my credentials for this particular folder. Each folder may have a different set of permissions. Here's where I can go ahead and view the document. Here's where I can download the document. This edit icon allows me to view the document and to make changes to the index information and/or move it to a new folder. At this time, I would like to share with you an advanced workflow activity, whereas documents will be indexed, archived, and processed automatically to our workflow module from a simple scan to folder selection. Let's log into our MFP and scan some documents. By utilizing a simple network folder, we can go ahead and log into our watch folders within Docukit. So you can have as many watch folders as you need with Docukit. In fact, you can have unlimited folders within Docukit. So at this point, we're scanning some documents to Docukit. Our workflow module will allow users to participate in workflows either as a submitter or approver or both. Users will receive email notifications for actions taken and will have the ability to view documents for approval and add notations. As I refresh my screen here, we can see documents being brought into Docukit. So here are the 6 documents. One document has already been processed into files and folders and moved automatically into our workflow module. Documents found in the workflow module can be seen here. So at this point in time, we have the ability to view the document, select the document, and either approve, rework, or reject. If we approve the document, it's going to move to the next user in line for approval. If we rework the document, it's going to be returned to the submitter. If we reject the document will not be able to be placed into workflow again. Let's go ahead and refresh our screens again. And now we can see the additional documents being moved into Docukit. If we return to our home page, this is where we can see all the documents being archived and indexed. Docukit utilizes a zonal OCR data capture application that can capture up to 8 index fields. I'm currently using 1, 2, 3, 4 index fields. And again, to view documents on our workflow, we just click on the task inbox, and this is where we can see all of our documents. From here, we can go ahead and view the history of the workflow. We can see the date and time when the document was submitted. I can go ahead and again view my document here, and I can go ahead and apply my notations and approve the document. Once the document is approved, I can go back to my task box and select the next document for processing. So let's take a look at documents being held in the reserved tray. So documents that are held in the reserved tray are being held for future modification. So when we look at documents here in the files and folders, and we're looking at versions of documents, we can find them through this icon here. With this particular document, we actually have 5 older versions of the document. This is the original document, and then we have the additional versions being created on the following dates by the following users making the following modifications. In order to create another version of the document, we'll first go ahead and need to reserve the document. So I've just placed the document into our reserve folder. So now when we're at our user home, we can see documents being held for reserve. So if I do go into my reserve folder, I can go ahead and see the document here. We'll need to download the document first. So it'll place the document here in your download folder. We'll go ahead and open that document up. And let's go ahead and make changes to this. Let's go ahead and add section 9.6. So I've just made the modifications. I've saved the document. Now we need to check the file back in. We'll go ahead and choose the file that we just modified. And we'll add our notations. And now when we go back to files and folders and we review the additional versions, here you can see we have the additional version here. And of course, when we view the document here, this is the latest version of the document. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the admin profile. So I'm going to go ahead and log out of my general user ID. And let's go ahead and log in as a customer admin. So the customer admin, they have access to additional applications. They have access to License Manager, Forms Capture, and Workflow. So within the License Manager, this is where the admin can go to create all the new users, to create all the new folders, to set up all the permissions for each folder with each user. The Forms Capture application, this is the application for creating the template for the OCR for capturing information automatically. And Workflow. Workflow is an application where you can set up a pre-configured document workflow, allow each user to view the document, add their notations, and either approve or reject the document. Let's go ahead and log into the License Manager first, and I'll help you understand how we can navigate through the application here. So right off, you have 2 charts. One chart managing your licenses. So here you can see you have 12 licenses available. You've used 8. Here, the area in blue is how much storage space has been assigned to you versus how much you've allocated to your users. When we click on the admin page here, this is where we can see all the users in the system and all the folders that are in the system as well. If you'd like to create a new folder, just click on the new folder icon here, give it a name and give it a description. Very easy to do. Once you've done that, it'll appear here. And from there, you can go ahead and just click on the Setup Index Fields. And there you'll be able to create the index fields for this folder. Now in this particular folder, I'm using 4 index fields. You can have up to 8. If you need to create an additional index field, just click on New, give it a title, determine the type of information in which you'd like to gather, and you can also indicate whether or not the information is required. Within the user profiles, again, these are all of our users here, you can go into a user profile, just click on the edit icon. This is where you can see all the information utilized for the user profile. If you click on the folder, this is where you can see all the folders that the user has access to. If you'd like to assign additional privileges, you can do that here. And each folder can have its own set of credentials. If you're applying just view-only privileges, then the user will only be able to view their documents. If you do assign indexing and editing, this will allow users to upload documents and create the information within the index fields, or be able to create the metadata. If you do assign deleting, users will be able to delete documents from their profile, but if they do need to be restored at a later time, the admin has the ability to do that. And exporting refers to the ability to download documents, to create zip files of multiple documents, and export information over to Excel. Thank you again for your time today. We hope you have found this video informative, and we look forward to providing you with the tools necessary for a successful digital transformation.